All right, welcome back to Inside the Cage. I'm your host, Brady Johnson. Here with me again, back for another video. Jaden and
So,
Zach, nice to have y'all back. It's been a long, long time, but happy y'all are back. The viewers are happy that y'all are back. Inside the
and
Cage
we're
is happy
back.
that y'all are back. And man, it's been a while, but
It's been
we're
years.
back, everybody. We're back. We're back. Uh, Today's show, we're going to talk about NFL games that happen this weekend. And currently, there's a game going on right now, Jacksonville, Kansas City. We'll get into that soon. But we're also going to talk about college football power rankings and the mess in college football that it has been this year, especially for Zach's team, who has been I know he's been on the edge of his seat for the last 6 weeks in college football. So I know he's been on the edge of his seat. Jaden been on the edge of his seat a couple of
Oh yeah,
times.
of course,
At
of
I've
least,
been
course.
at
okay
least
so
Clemson's
far.
not as bad as a disaster as North Carolina.
But I've been okay so far. But we're gonna get into it. Let's go into the NFL slate this week. A lot of big wins and a lot of upset wins for most teams. We're gonna go over to the London game first. Cleveland Browns starting their new quarterback Dylan Gabriel, the rookie from this year's draft. And I'm gonna go over to Jaden. How do you think that Dylan Gabriel did against the Minnesota Vikings?
Uh, Gabriel didn't show like anything like phenomenally. He just kind of just did a role of just being a game manager. I felt like he didn't make the plays that he should have made per se. He was just doing what Stefanski told him to do, which is kind of just dump off passes, no deep shots, and kind of just let Judkins kind of control the game. I feel like they should push the field a little bit more, but they didn't. And that's why they
I will
lost.
say, I will say, Judkins, Njoku, and Fanning were the three MVPs for the Cleveland Browns, in my opinion, in that game. Even though that they lost that game, I'm gonna go over to Zach with the Minnesota Vikings. What did you see from that uh, outrageous win in London for the Minnesota Vikings?
I think, honestly, I think they had a bit of a poorer effort than I would have expected out of them, considering they barely beat the Browns, who might be back to being the same old Browns that you remember from the 2010s.
I mean, it is, and you are right. It is the Browns, but I mean, Carson Wentz didn't play too hot as well. You mean
Yeah,
you got to give Minnesota some credit. They are playing with a quarterback known to turn the
yeah. I
ball
mean,
over.
they did win in the very end.
Yeah, it was a nice
I
play to
didn't really
add.
get to watch much of the game because it was so early, but at one, it was just
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just a weird game to me because I kind of thought the Vikings would win by like 14 or so.
okay. Well, and like I said, I think the star players for Cleveland had to be Njoku, Harold Fanning, and Kenshawn Junkins. What amazing performance from those three, especially Njoku, who popped off finally. We've been waiting for 5 weeks for him to pop off, and he finally popped off. He looks really good. That hurdle was nice, by the way, in the game. Hurdle was very
Yeah,
nice. And Jefferson, keep feeding that man the football. Give him the ball. Give him the ball. Give him the ball. He will make plays when needed the most, and he did in this game. And that's why I think the Minnesota Vikings won this game. Over to one of the wildest games of the afternoon on Sunday. We're
Eagles.
gonna go down to Charlotte and talk about the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. Zach, I'm gonna start with you with your team, the Carolina Panthers. What a win and what a I'm gonna say this one time. MVP gotta go to Rico Dowdle. Dowdle carried the team on his back, get
Oh,
them the win.
yeah. I mean, we saw two different versions of the same team. The first half was absolutely terrible. Miami gets the ball first. They drive down. They get a field goal. Okay, whatever. First drive out, Bryce Young, not even a forced fumble. He just lets you go with the ball at midfield. And it was a terrible first half. I mean, nothing was working until like the last 5 minutes when Xavier Leggett remembered he actually has hands and caught a pass.
He caught a touchdown in the game as well.
Yeah, he did.
It was a great catch, too. Great throw by Bryce Young, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, the second half, they definitely had some sort of huge adjustments because second half they came out, didn't let the Dolphins do anything until some really bad broken coverage in the last 5 minutes and just actually made the comeback. It was – Bryce Young didn't play great, but he did enough to win.
He did enough to win. That's all you need.
Rico Dowdle was really, as you said, and he's not even the starting running back either.
No,
he's the backup.
Rico Dowdle was the MVP. Now, like you said, Miami with a great first half. I'm going to go over to Jaden with the Dolphins. Tua phenomenal in that first half. I think he had, two touchdown passes in that first half. What lost the Dolphins this game?
What lost the Dolphins this game here, I felt like, is they went away from Darren Waller for some reason. You know, it seems to me that Tua kind of likes to lean on Darren Waller and Waddle since the disappearance of Tyreek Hill due to his injury. And I just felt like in the second half, McDaniels was just trying to do too much. I mean, he allowed the Panthers to stay in this game and ultimately pay the price because he wanted to take out Darren Waller for some reason. And they
I will say, Jalen Waddle, Darren Waller, big games from them, by the way, even though Tua quit throwing to Darren Waller.
I mean, it's just always nice to see Darren Waller, vintage Darren Waller, Raiders era Darren Waller kind of, show up and just ball out. I mean,
but it is kind of funny seeing the Dolphins be shitty when they're not supposed to be.
I mean, I just think it's time for them to just flush everything away and just start over. I mean, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Get rid of Tua too. He need to go. He need to go. All right. We're gonna go to we're gonna go to a good game here. It was in the 12th man, known as I don't know what their stadium's called. I don't forgot what their stadium's called.
Where?
In Seattle.
They was playing. I think they was playing in Tampa, right?
No, they were in Seattle.
Yeah. They didn't change it. I remember when it was CenturyLink.
Yeah, it used to be CenturyLink. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. Well, anyways, on to the Bucs and to the Seattle Seahawks. What a game that was! A phenomenal finish. The Bucs are they're 4-1. 4-1. Yeah, 4-1 in close games this year so far. Their only losses to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm gonna start with Jaden on this one. The Bucs. Wow, offensive rookie of the year already. It's gonna be by a long shot. It's gonna be Emeka Egbuka. What a year he's having. What a year the Bucs are having. Baker Mayfield should be in conversation for the MVP. But what did you think about the Bucs in this game, Jaden?
I mean, the Bucs were phenomenal offense. I mean, they basically had it any which way they wanted this game. I mean, they had I think they had over 500 yards.
They did. They went over. They went
offense.
560 total offense.
So it was kind of nice to see that. I mean, Baker's still Baker. Got the return of Chris Godwin, just kind of balling out. I mean, Mike Evans is gone, but you got Baker. I'm gonna say Baker. Egbuka kind of just still showing up and just doing his thing. I feel like he's going to get offensive rookie of the year. But for the Bucs, defensively, they have to be better. I mean, they've had two guys kind of, two guys out. They kind of let Seahawks do whatever they wanted to them. I mean, you just don't want to see that from your team, but still kind of just having a clutch quarterback and Baker Mayfield kind of just makes things easier for everyone. I mean, you don't really see that much in guys like quarterbacks in the league right now, just guys with that clutch.
Now, my question to you is: Do you think Baker should be in these MVP conversations right now?
To be honest, I would agree. I mean, he's like a fringe MVP right now. I mean, he's been balling out. He kind of has weapons. I mean, you kind of have to think, okay, if another guy had these weapons, would he be able to do the exact same thing that Baker's doing? And I agree that few guys will be doing what Baker's doing right now, in all honesty.
But not everybody would be doing what Baker's doing right now.
Yeah.
Because you got to think Baker's being clutch, getting his kicker in the field goal. Remember, the only team they lost to is the Philadelphia Eagles. so far.
Oh yeah, that was a great game.
Philly's technically supposed to be the best team, but we'll get to them later on in the segment. But Zach, I'm gonna go over to you, Seattle. Sam Darnold, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game from Sam Darnold. I didn't think we were gonna see the Sam Darnold of old from last year. I thought we were gonna see a little bit of a downhill slope. Not too much, but declining because I thought it was the Kevin O'Connell system. But he's working out in Seattle right now and he's cooking. What do you think about the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, that's what I was about to talk about too. Is the rest of the team? It's more just how Sam Darnold has put his career back together somehow. People talk about Baker Mayfield being in maybe conversation. I think there's a non-zero chance Sam Darnold enters into that, at least to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the Seahawks X factor. I mean, yeah, they have arguably the best receiver in the nation, and Kenneth Walker's a pretty good running back, but it's just seeing Sam Darnold go from being a quarterback getting benched by Zach Wilson.
Look, it's the Kevin O'Connell system, man, or it's that McVay Shanahan system. Once you sit there for a year and you learn, or you start, I think he started to understand. Look, I can't make these throws that I used to make. I got to make these throws. I got to do what I got to do to win these games, and that's what he's doing right now in Seattle. But he's been gutsy in Seattle like he used to in New York, and it's working for him.
Well, I mean, the Seahawks also revived Geno Smith, at least for a few years there. So they have some sort of QB-friendly system. But, yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold is really the reason why they won that game. I mean, he threw an interception, but otherwise he was on point with his passes, and he was being very ballsy with them.
Yeah, I agree. Right. Now, speaking about rookies, we got another rookie who didn't really play well in the first half. He didn't play well through three quarters, but had a phenomenal fourth quarter. Got his team to win. I'm going to go over to Zach about this rookie. He's the 20 – well, no, he's not. Yeah, he is. No. Yeah. No, he's not. He's a rookie. He is a rookie. I'm thinking, was he the Heisman Trophy winner? No, he wasn't the Heisman Trophy winner. But he should have been. Should have been the Heisman Trophy winner, but he wasn't the Heisman Trophy winner. But quarterback Cam Ward for the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to talk to you, Zach, about what a phenomenal win. What a phenomenal win. How? I don't know how. Cardinals, you need to figure out something on that defense. 3 losses in a row by three or more points. That's got to do something.
Yeah, this was the wrong week to start. It was
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, this was the wrong week to start him. My fantasy team got absolutely demolished. I know it's off topic. They got demolished this week. Nobody played well, at all. I was dominant the past few weeks, and this week they just all ate dirt. It was bad.
It's okay. It's okay, Zach. It's
okay.
But yeah, I mean, Cam Ward, he's not been terrible. I mean, he's a rookie quarterback, which you expect to see out of him. He's getting let down by his terrible receiving core, though. They outside of Calvin Ridley, they have nothing.
Oh well, actually, I'm going to take that away. Calvin Ridley hasn't really been that great for him, though. It's really been the rookie second round pick Alec Eilminer who's been the best.
And he was the only person that played well last week.
The best player for him so far this year by stats has been Alec Eilminer from Stanford, the 6'5" receiver for him, the second round pick. But other than that, Tyler Lockett hasn't shown up. Calvin Ridley shows up once every 5 games. Chico Okonkwo has not showed up. I don't even know who else they got playing receiver, to be honest.
They have the ghost of Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything, though.
No, he hasn't.
He had a touchdown.
So what has he done? But he hasn't done anything. But
do you know how he got his touchdown?
I think this game, though, is more the inability of the Cardinals to actually be competent than the Titans actually making moves. Because the Cardinals also almost choked away their lead to the Panthers a few weeks ago, too.
They did. They
let the Panthers come right back.
But the Cardinals have lost 3 straight close games off of field goals.
Yeah, they have.
Off of field goals. All 3 of them off of field goals.
I think this is just a Cardinals issue rather than the Titans waking up.
Well, Gannon,
the Cardinals are not a good team.
Is it Gannon? Is it Gannon the head coach of the Cards?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Gannon better get that shit together because he's the defensive coordinator, the former defensive coordinator for the Eagles, and now he's shitting the bed right now for defense. His offense looks okay. I'm gonna say his offense has been all right. I'm not gonna say they've been great. They've been all right enough to win games, but his defense gonna have to step up. Jaden, I'm gonna go over to you to the Arizona Cardinals.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. The Cardinals win this game if Kyler plays the whole game. I mean,
Well, Jacoby Brissett only played 2 snaps.
I don't care about Jacoby Brissett. This isn't about Jacoby. This whole game, I feel like, I mean, if Demar runs in that touchdown, we would
It's
not be
game over.
talking about the Titans.
Game
Yeah,
over.
it's game over. Demar did the one thing you do not do, and that is just resting up
ball.
before you
Throw the
reach
ball. Throw the fucking.
you reach the, so you gotta walk it in, man. You gotta be aware of your surroundings. You gotta look at the scoreboard to see if someone's behind you. I mean, L'Jarius Sneed didn't give up on that play. He came in and forced a fumble, and he ultimately spurred a win in the Titans' favor as they went on a little run. But I mean, on that last Cardinals drive, the second to last Cardinals drive, they could have easily been better. You could easily been better. I mean,
Yeah, they settled for a
you
field goal.
basically
They should have scored on that drive as well.
why are you just laying low? You can kind of just finish a team. We don't see teams kind of go for the kill shot. They've just been acting a little
And it was
for
kind of
some reason.
crazy that Jonathan Gannon had a 4th and 2 and kicked the field goal. Why didn't you just go for it?
That's your boy. I mean,
I know, but why?
Carolina Panthers will never.
I didn't get it. But yeah, over to a shocking loss. A shocking loss for this team.
Eagles.
Who plays in the city of the brotherly love, a.k.a. Joel Embiid's other professional team besides, where he plays for the 76ers. But, yeah, to the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly, we got to have a conversation. You were up 17 points at half, and you choke a 21-point deficit to lose the game. Now, I'm going to start with Jaden on this one. Denver. We're going to go straight to Denver. What a phenomenal performance in the second half. But Denver, you cannot start off this slow. What do the Broncos have to do?
I'm sorry.
What the Broncos have
they
to
said
do?
that wasn't a flag. They said there wasn't a flag. How is that not a flag?
Oh,
He's clearly going out to box him out.
That's a flag.
But, that's what I'm saying. But back to the program. I mean, Denver. I mean, I watched this game personally. This is the main game I was watching this weekend. You got a chance to see like the first 3 quarters, Denver was just kind of laying low. He was laying low, just kind of getting bullied by the Eagles most of the game. I mean, the Eagles could have easily killed off Denver, but Denver just found a way to stick around. And in the fourth quarter, you got things going. Bo Nix kind of turned up a little bit. I mean, Courtland Sutton showed up. He had 8 catches for 99 receiving yards. I mean, and what's the running back? Dobbins had a couple.
Dobbins finally showed up.
Dobbins finally showed up. Had a couple key plays during the game, and I love the gutsy 2-point conversion they did towards the end to go up 18-17.
That was great. Sean Payton, good call.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Sean Payton. I would not say I'm a fan of him. If you told me to say something nice about Sean Payton, I probably wouldn't have much to say. But that's a gutsy play call.
That was a good call, though.
That was a great call that they called on that play right there. And it kind of also stole momentum in the whole stadium because you wasn't expecting that to happen. The team to just go there and go to the reigning defending Super Bowl champions and take their jockstrap and shove it down their throat.
Now, Zach and Jaden, I got a question for y'all before I get to Zach about the Eagles. So I'm going to go straight into A.J. Brown. Do you think with the lackluster performance that the Eagle has not been using A.J. Brown, very well, do you think A.J. Brown is a highly recruit or target at the trade deadline that's coming up in like 4 or 5 weeks? So do you think A.J. Brown will be at the top of that trade deadline market?
Personally, I think we would more so see Kevin Patullo get demoted than AJ to get traded, to be honest. I just think that this is just a little bit of frustration. I mean, to go from Kellen Moore to Kevin Patullo's play calling is kind of a big, massive downgrade. I mean, they could easily get around this. I feel like you just gotta kind of just meddle together. I think they just need a bye week. You need a bye week to come pretty soon so that they can work on that.
I want to piggyback off that. I think that I'm going to agree with you. It's the play calling, but you also can't be a play caller. I know Saquon's your best player, but you've got a 6'4" receiver on the outside, and you've got a shifty 6'1" receiver in Devontae Smith, and you barely use them. What is going on? You got to use your receivers. I'm not saying to you have to throw every single play of the game. You got Saquon Barkley. You don't need to do that. But you running you run 90 plays out of 150. So the 40 that are passes, and 10 or 12 of them is going to Goddard, and then the other 5-6 is going to Devontae Smith, which leaves then like 8 or 9 to AJ Brown, and he can't really do that much with 8 or 9 receptions as we've seen so far this year. So Zach, I'm gonna piggyback off of you to the Eagles. Eagles lackluster defense in the second half, allowed 21 points. Still only 21 points. They didn't give up a whole lot, but still 21 points.
Yeah, it's in a way somewhat similar to how the Panthers and Dolphins went, except just the Eagles just like disappeared. Like, I don't know, like, you're up 10-3 at halftime. You're kind of struggling, but you come out the third quarter, 74 yards and 4 plays, and you get touchdown.
It's strange.
And after that, you do nothing the rest of the game and just let the Broncos come back in. Like, it's wild what happened there, and I have no way to explain it either, because I do think part of it's play calling, as you said. I mean, the Eagles have just been. They're one of the best teams in the country, but I would say they have been a little lackluster to a degree. Great win over the Buccaneers and Rams, and the Chiefs, but like they beat the Chiefs, but one of those situations where are the Chiefs as good as they have been in the past? I don't think they have.
No,
they're not.
No, and they're playing in a tougher division this year. Their division's a whole lot tougher.
I just think it's a terrible choke job by the Eagles coaching staff. I mean, you have the best roster in the nation, and you let an average Broncos team make a comeback on you. Props to Bo Nix and the Broncos, obviously.
Yeah, great win from the Broncos.
On your point of AJ Brown, I think teams, if he doesn't step it up, I think teams are going to start looking to trade for him.
Which look, I can see it happening. I think he could want a reunion in New England with his favorite coach, Mike Vrabel, and I can see that actually happening. Yeah. They have the money to pay him too. So,
well, I was about to say on that, the Titans might be interested in taking him back.
They might to give Cam Ward some help, but I don't think AJ Brown wants to go back. So
maybe, but it would be a much better position now because
I would love him in Pittsburgh, but I don't think that's ever going to happen either. But
no. The Steelers are internal 8-8, or I guess 9-8 now.
Internal, yeah. Look! I predicted the Steelers going 10-7 this year, so I don't have my high hopes. But if we go over 10 wins, then I'm like, okay, they accomplished something I never thought they would do. Go over 11 wins.
But ref, don't you cheat? Don't you cheat, ref?
I'm sorry. We're gonna go. Wow, what a last 5 weeks of college football it has been. It's been crazy in 5 weeks. Zach, your Clemson Tigers have been. Oh my God, they've struggled. They have struggled. Jaden, your South Carolina Gamecocks, I don't know what's going on.
Not much better.
Mike Shula, never let Mike Shula call a play ever again.
Heisman's not been good. The O-line, well, actually, let me take that back. Heisman has been good, but he's been hurt as well in some of those crucial games that they needed him to play. And also the O-line's not been very well. And run game has been non-existent for South Carolina. On the other hand, we know what's been happening. Alabama, crazy win over Georgia. And then This week,
Yankee.
the power rankings came out. Texas, we need to talk about Texas and Penn State real quick. So we're gonna go to Penn State first. Penn State,
How could you?
That game was
like I told Jaden, Penn State, you need to get yourself a Chuck E. Cheese application and get all your players to go work at Chuck E. Cheese because you all freaking shit the bed against a team that has a special teams coach as their interim head coach. Don't know what to do. Got a play caller that's a running backs coach that don't know how to call plays. Was messing up the connection with Nico. Nico had to call his own damn plays. And Nico, he's not been good this year. But I will say Nico had the best game of his playing career in college so far. And he was phenomenal. But Penn State, you really need to figure something out. Zach, over to you. Penn State. Wow. Out of the top 25 now, but they deserve to be out of the top 25 after that huge loss. And then the loss to Oregon didn't help as well.
I mean, just talk about a 2-week stretch for Penn State fans. I mean, you lose to Oregon, who might potentially be the best team in the country in overtime, to now losing to the worst team in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just – and the thing is, it's not even like it was an upset. Penn State was outplayed at every single facet of the game from the first quarter to the final minute of the game. Like, it was bad. It was terrible. Like
UCLA had more total yards in the game than Penn State too, which is pretty sad when you're thinking of you had the preseason favorite Drew Aller as the number one Heisman favorite.
Yeah, they just couldn't stop Nico no matter what they did. He's been average at best this year, crap at most of the time, but he looked like a Heisman contender. I mean, he had 5 touchdowns in a single game.
Yeah.
He was the leading passer and rusher, and there's only a 40-yard difference between those. Like it was literally Nico just absolutely toppling Penn State. Drew Aller's not a good quarterback. We got to be honest here. He's not good. He's not an NFL player.
He's been turning the ball. He's been turning the ball over, doing stupid decisions, making stupid.
He turned it over so many times, and even this was a decent game passing for him. But, and I will say this: UCLA did try to choke it away. Penn State almost came back there at the end, but they obviously just didn't want to win.
Like, no, Penn State shouldn't have won the game. That's why they, that's why they shouldn't have won the game.
Here's the thing for Penn State. Where do you go from here? Because James Franklin is not going to win you a title, but he averages like 10-2 or 11-2. But now he's lost. He's proven he's losing to not even good teams anymore.
Well, last year, didn't they go to the? They went far, didn't they, in the playoffs last year?
Last year, they were one stop away from the national championship, where they might have actually beaten Ohio State.
So that's what I'm saying. So you can't. I wouldn't say James Franklin's on the hot seat just yet because
I wouldn't say the hot seat, but if you're in College Station, you have to not College Station, Happy Valley.
Yeah.
You have to be thinking if you need to be looking outside because he can't win big games, but he also never lost like this before. Maybe it's a wake-up call, but
maybe it is a wake-up call, but I'm going to go over to you, Jaden, with the Texas fallout against Florida.
That game was fun to watch.
Arch Manning, the preseason first-team All-American, supposed to be the number one quarterback in football right now. He has not been great. He lost to Ohio State in the opener, but I will give him credit. Ohio State came to play. Ohio State's the best team in the country right now, number one team in the country. But Jaden, Arch looking ugly against Florida was not a pretty look to be ranked the preseason best All-American and the best player in football.
No.
Then you lose it to
Florida.
I had a feeling Texas, I thought Texas was a little bit better this year. Arch has not shown that he's a Manning right now. He's just been showing like he's the average quarterback. I mean, I feel like he's just been a little bit rattled. I mean, Ohio State game, that's the first game of the year. I mean, you could kind of say that it's Ohio State, the best defense in the country, basically.
Yeah.
But just to lose this game to Florida, I mean, I understand. Like, no matter whenever you play Florida, I'm pretty sure this game is at the Swamp, right?
Yeah.
Just going up in there, despite all that stuff with Billy Napier and like the Florida teams of the past recent years, I mean, just to go in there, just lay an egg and lose like the way they did. I mean, Florida basically controlled that game like the whole time.
They did.
They controlled that game the whole time. The score does not show the actual game.
I
feel
will say Florida's run game. About time you come and show up for the Florida Gators. The run game finally showed up for the Florida Gators. And I will say, DJ Lagway, you didn't play very well, but you did
Hey,
enough.
that freshman receiver though for Florida was going off.
Yeah, he was. That was phenomenal for a guy that is only a freshman too, and he had a good catch as well towards the end of that game. So on to the top 10. I'm gonna ask you both if they should be here or they should not be here, and if you think they're gonna stay there for either for the rest of the year or for the next couple of weeks. We already know the consensus number one overall team is the Ohio State Buckeyes. They do not play anybody. I mean, they got a good game next week against Illinois, but I think they beat the crap out of Illinois. Illinois is frauds. They got booty whacked by Indiana. And Indiana, I think, is a really good team as well. But they play Illinois this week. I don't think that they lose to Illinois, though. Their toughest test is Michigan. Do you guys think that Ohio State –
That's a touchdown.
Do you think Ohio State keeps the reign as the number one team for a couple of weeks, or do you think they lose to Illinois this week and lose their number one spot?
Ohio State keeps the train rolling. They beat Illinois by at least 2 scores. I mean, Luke Altmaier, they got mollywopped by Indiana. They had a nice little bounce back game like last week, but
Yeah.
Ohio State keeps it rolling.
I mean, Ohio State's going to win out. I mean, I know Michigan's ranked pretty high, but they're horribly overranked. I think most people agree.
I will say they're playing in Michigan, too, this year.
They are. Michigan has had the number for the past few years. That's just – I don't think Ohio State's the best team in the country, but I do think they're going to keep the number one ranking unless they almost lay an egg.
I agree, Zach. I don't think Ohio State's the best team in the country either. And I'm not going to say it's Oregon as well. I'm not going to say Oregon's the best team in the country too.
I think Miami is probably the best one.
I don't think Miami's the best team in the country. I do think they have the best defensive edge player in the country, and I think that they have a good defense to keep them in.
You're probably going to say Oklahoma is because you've been big on John Mateer.
No, I'm going to say right now the best defense in the country is LSU.
Oh, defense.
Yeah. LSU's the best defense in the country. LSU might have the best defensive player in the country too.
But overall, your number one is
overall. My number one's going to be Oklahoma, of course.
Yeah, that's what
John Mateer is my guy, and I hope he comes back for the Texas game, but he might not. So his Heisman reign for Texas. His Heisman reign is over, but it's okay. I got what I wanted. That John Mateer is going to be a really good quarterback. He's going to be a first-round pick in the draft, it looks like. So after the way these quarterbacks have been playing. But over to number 2, the Miami Hurricanes. Zach, I'm going to start with you. They've had played a couple of good teams. They played Florida State. They beat Florida State in a great matchup. They beat Florida, who's usually tough for them, and they beat a ranked USF team earlier in the year who, they're ranked again, supposedly. So, in the coaches poll, not in the AP poll, they're ranked again in the coaches poll.
So, just off the arguments that the playoff committee has made in the past, they take strength of the schedule and everything. So right now, Miami has wins over number 25, 24, and number 16 in Notre Dame. I mean, they have the best resume out of anybody in the country. I don't think Carson Beck's the best quarterback in football, but if you're talking about Heisman winners, he's going to – if Miami goes 12-0, that trophy's probably his unless Jeremiah Smith over Ohio State takes
right now, the second getter is Ruben Bain, the defensive edge from Miami. So if Florida State
it would be interesting if a defensive player won the Heisman because that hasn't happened since how long?
Been a long time. I think Charles Woodson is the last one to win it.
That's the FSU. Yeah, that was FSU, right? Like the 90s.
No, it was Miami or Michigan.
Yeah, it was Miami.
Michigan. I think Charles Woodson is the last defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. That's crazy. Charles Woodson is the last defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. Yeah.
That's very rare.
But I mean,
But
I do think Miami is objectively back, and I don't know if they win the national championship, but I think they're going to win
look,
out and be one of
look,
the top.
I think if Mateer doesn't come back and he doesn't produce, Mateer will be back in the Heisman race. I just don't know if he's going to win it now because of that injury that he has to his finger. But can Mateer still do things that that he can normally do and throw that football in those tight spots and be a gunslinger like he normally is? Or do you see a guy like Carson Beck winning the Heisman Trophy? I mean, I could see it just like you said if they go 12-0, but they still got a tough matchup. They got to play Georgia Tech, who's been great in the ACC so far this year. I know they had a close win, the week, not this week, but the week before.
Yeah, they beat
Wake
Wake by
Forest.
1 point somehow.
They beat Wake by 1 point, and they should have beat the shit out of them, but that's not gonna happen with a team like Georgia Tech, because Georgia Tech always makes games close, but somehow eke out a win. But Jaden, over to you, Miami. They've been phenomenal defensively. I'm gonna give the offense a little bit of discredit because of Carson Beck. Carson Beck against Florida had 143 yards, and he did play good against Florida State, but Florida State's defensive backs are also not that good, and two of them are injured. So, Carson Beck, Jaden, what do you think about the Miami Hurricanes? Not the Dolphins.
I mean, Miami Hurricanes, they've shown that they got a great offense. I mean, you got a rookie sensation just kind of going off, just flowing all over the Florida State defense. I mean, Miami is actually, I feel like this year they're looking a little bit better than last year. I mean, defensively, they're way better. And, possibly, what are we doing, Jay? But, Miami, I just feel like defense is a little bit better this year than compared to last year. I mean, Cameron Ward kind of had to do everything last year, I felt like, but this year is more of just an equal game.
Yeah, because I like I said, the defense led by Ruben Bain up front, who's I think he's had a sack in every game so far in college football, which is phenomenal. That's amazing. A sack in every game. That's great for Ruben Bain, and to be second or third in the Heisman as a defensive player. To be maybe the first one since Charles Woodson to win the Heisman Trophy, that would be great. I just want to see that. I would want to see that. If Mateer can't win it, give it to a defensive player that we haven't seen won Heisman since Charles Woodson. So, the number 3 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, coming off of a huge overtime win at Penn State. Jane, I'm gonna start with you. Do you think these Oregon Ducks? They still got to play Indiana. I think they play Indiana this week.
Yeah, they play Indiana this week.
The tough Indiana, who beat the crap out of Illinois, but struggled against Iowa. Do you think this Oregon team can go far and potentially maybe take the number 1 or 2 spot here in a couple of weeks?
I mean, to be honest, I don't see Ohio State losing anytime soon. And I don't see Miami losing anytime soon. If Miami loses, it would be due to self-inflicted wounds. I just think Oregon kind of just sits here in this spot, number 3 spot, for the kind of towards like the rest of the season. So they run into either Ohio State in the championship game, most likely, and I feel like they lose that game. I mean, Dante Moore.
Miami got to play Louisville too, guys.
Who?
Miami got to play Louisville too.
Oh, we ain't worried about no Louisville. They good, but they're not great.
And they play Virginia Tech, who also plays them tough
Louisville's record is
every year.
Misleading. They're not as good as it looks like they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jaden, back to Oregon.
Yeah, I don't see Oregon really doing that, and just kind of typical Oregon scheduled programming.
My question to you: do you think their quarterback is the front runner for the Heisman now? After he was second behind John Mateer. Do you think it's his award to win, or is it his to lose? Especially,
I think I would say like it's kind of just like right now, it's kind of his to win per se. Just due to Mateer being out for a little while.
But do you think Mateer could come back and win the Heisman Trophy?
Oh, easily. I mean, he's playing way tougher competition down the stretch in comparison to Dante Moore.
If he So, like my hypothetical question, I've been seeing that he's going to come back in the game against Texas. If he comes back in the game against Texas and he throws a little bit, but not a whole lot, he gets like 170 with a touchdown and an interception. We know he's hurt. We know he's hurt. Do you still put him in that? Not at number 1, but do you put him at like number 2 or number 3? And then
I will bump him down to number 3 and make him earn his way back up.
Have him earn it, and like once that hand feels a little bit more better, have him earn it and win the Heisman Trophy.
I would put him at number 3, yeah, if he had a game like that.
I mean, I agree too, but I just don't know if he's going to play against Texas. He needs to play against Texas, save his Heisman hopes right now. But I'm hoping that he plays against Texas. Zach, over to you about the Oregon Ducks.
I mean, statistically, they're the best team in the country. I mean, they're just rolling. I am a little hesitant with them now after seeing that Penn State's kind of. But you're also playing away at a very talented team in a very tough environment. But I think they're pretty fair at number 3. I would listen to the argument they're number 1. I'm just hesitant because their supposed best win is now an unranked team. But, I mean, Dante Moore, he might be the first overall pick in the draft this year with the way the quarterbacks have fallen at this point.
Like I said, I think John Mateer going to be the number 1 overall quarterback.
I think he will be, but Dante Moore, if he keeps playing like this, like
if Dante Moore got to prove himself though against Indiana, if he cannot beat Indiana,
if they can't beat Indiana, then yeah, he's not going to. But I think Indiana's a bit of a paper tiger. I know they beat the absolute hell out of Illinois, but I think Illinois was a little overranked as is. I think they're going to hold Illinois to under 20 points, and they're going to win pretty comfortably. But, I mean, yeah, there's much you can say. I mean, they're dominant. They're rolling everybody they play. That's how it is.
All right, now my opinion about Oregon, I don't think Oregon should be in the top 3. I think Oregon should be at 4 or 5. I believe in Ole Miss and Texas A&M right now as the 2 better teams. Texas A&M, to me, should be a top 3 team right now. They've been putting belt to ass with Marcel Reed at quarterback. And Marcel Reed's been phenomenal this year. But I'm going to go over to Zach with the Ole Miss Rebels coming off of a huge win against the LSU Tigers, the best defense in the country. Finally allowed 24 points. It was tough for the LSU defense, but Trinidad Chambliss, the backup quarterback, now starting quarterback for Ole Miss, came in clutch and won the game for Ole Miss. What do you think about this Ole Miss team? And they do have a tough schedule still to go, but do you think this Ole Miss team can still fight and be in these games and still maybe be a top 5 team by the end of the year?
Well, for one, their quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, that's a S-tier name. I mean, he might as well be given the Heisman off that alone.
Yes, he should.
But, I mean, yeah. Honestly, I'm really impressed by the job Lane Kiffin has done at Ole Miss. I thought he'd be good, but I mean, if you told me a few weeks ago Ole Miss would be the highest-ranked SEC team by mid-season, I would be probably a little dumbfounded.
See, Ole Miss still got Georgia and Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to drop a few. They're probably not going to stay there forever, but I mean, everyone knew LSU was overranked as the season went on, but to still see Ole Miss manage to overcome that suffocating defense, which has really held teams down, I think that says a lot. We'll see a lot how they do this week against Washington State. They're going to roll them. It'll be interesting to see how badly they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
we got to see how good Trinidad Chambliss does. So.
But I think Lane Kiffin right now might be coaching for auditions at a different job somewhere else. Like, I think he might leave for Florida if that job comes open.
Oh, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't leave for Florida? Florida's a good culture. And
I thought for a while maybe Alabama might come calling if Alabama didn't put it together, but I think DeBoer's bought himself for 2 or 3 years.
Honestly, I want Auburn to shit the bed so they can get Lane Kiffin, because I want Lane Kiffin to beat the shit out of Alabama every year.
I just don't think he would take Auburn just because I don't think there's much difference between it and Ole Miss at this point. But Florida, I mean, that's one of the best jobs in the country. I mean, tons of money, talent-rich state. I mean, he could easily build a powerhouse there.
He could. He really
higher
could.
ceiling than Ole Miss. As for
He could.
Auburn, I don't know.
Okay, Jaden, over to you about Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss been on fire.
I still feel like Ole Miss goes 9-3 this year. It's the Ole Miss way. It's the Lane Kiffin way. They always kind of find a way just to lose a game they're not supposed to. Then they lose 2 games outside of things. I mean, Ole Miss, they beat LSU, a team that's kind of been aside, like a thorn aside of them in recent memory. Chambliss, he's played a great game lately. You know, he was originally the guy. It was Austin Simmons that started off this year. But, you know, Simmons got hurt, and Chambliss, you know, he's won 2 back-to-back national championships at Ferris State, a D2 college, and he's come up to the SEC level and it's been phenomenal. And I just feel like they still find a way to lose a game.
I will give him credit, though. He's played the #1 defense in college football and scored 24 points on them and played phenomenal against Harold Perkins. Got taken away in that game against Ole Miss, and it showed because LSU looked lost without Harold Perkins out there, being non-existent in the game is what I'm saying, at least. Over to – hold on, my phone. Well, we're gonna go through the 5 through 10 real fast. It's all a bunch of red teams, sort of. You know, you got Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Indiana, Alabama, and Texas Tech. Jade, I'm gonna start with you with Texas A&M.
I mean, Texas A&M. I mean, they've been in some battles. I mean, the Auburn game was nice to watch. I mean, that Mississippi State game was a little bit closer than what the score said. I mean, I feel like they ran up the score kind of late towards the end. I just feel like Texas A&M, they're 5-0 for the first time since 2016. I think that comes to an end. I feel like they're just paper tigers. I feel like they're a second half team. For some reason, they have a tendency to start off kind of slow. And I think that's going to hurt them when they get deep into the thick of their SEC game.
I agree. I think they've started off fast, but you cannot discredit the phenomenal play of Marcel Reed and Mario Craver right now, the 2 leading players for Texas A&M right now. Zach, I'm going to go over to you to the Oklahoma Sooners. You know, this is my team, John Mateer, the front runner for the Heisman Trophy, not anymore after the injury, but the defense has been playing decent. The front line might be the best front line in the country, though. That front 4 might be the best front 4 in the country.
Yeah, the game that sold in Oklahoma was Auburn. I know they only won that game by 7, but they had about 10, 11 sacks in a single game. Like, Oklahoma's defense might be the best in the country. That's saying
their
something.
Their front 4 is definitely the best in the country.
I mean, it's just they absolutely dominant, and then their offense is pretty good. Mateer's out for the last few weeks, but I honestly don't know why Texas is a favorite in their game in the Red River this weekend. I think Oklahoma might honestly dominate them. They might win that by 14, 21.
So my question is for both of you. You both can answer, or one of you can answer. So if Mateer comes back, like I'm saying, if Mateer comes back, does this hurt Oklahoma or does this help Oklahoma? Because you know his hand is hurt. He's not going to be able to throw probably as efficient as he normally does. But does this hurt Oklahoma or does this help Oklahoma?
If it had been, honestly, this had happened a different way, and Mateer was out for a much more extended period of time, like maybe 4 or 5 weeks, or I would say it probably would hurt them to bring him back in, and then said they should ride with Michael Hawkins. But I think with the way it's going, it'll help them to bring their starting quarterback back, because Mateer is experienced. I mean, he's a very good player.
But you got that hurt hand, and he's a gunslinger. He's gonna have to throw the ball against. I'm not gonna sleep on that Texas defense either. Texas defense has been good. Besides the last game against Florida, they have been good this year. So I mean, only allowing 14 points to the number one team in the country, but allowing 29 to Florida, it's a little too much. But like I said, you're gonna need Mateer to throw the football. Can he do that with his hurt hand though? Very very efficiently. I'm not saying he has to throw it well. He just got to be efficient with it.
I guess that'll depend on just how much he's recovered since he hasn't played. I mean,
Yeah.
Is it confirmed he's starting versus Texas yet?
No, they saying he's questionable that he might play against Texas. That's his return. His return's either Texas or the next week with South Carolina. If he doesn't come back to the Texas game, he might hurt himself for the Heisman.
Yeah, so it's a tough balance. I would say it's really just a wait and see. I mean, if they're confident in Michael Hawkins against Texas, so there's no reason to risk it. Let him come in so you don't risk Mateer harming his hand more.
And then bring him back for South Carolina.
And I think with that, it won't hurt him in the Heisman race too much because the upcoming schedule he has is absolutely a gauntlet. If he wins that, the Heisman is his.
Because he's got to play Tennessee, Georgia.
Actually, he doesn't play Georgia. He plays
Alabama,
Oklahoma,
Tennessee.
Alabama. Missouri and LSU are a little overrated, but they're still good teams. If he comes back versus Carolina and wins out the season, I think the Heisman is his, just based on record alone.
I hope I remember I told y'all that John Mateer was my Heisman favorite, and he was my pick to win. And I hope he still does. But Jaden, over to you in Indiana.
Indiana, like Zach said earlier, Indiana, we ain't worried about no Indiana. I feel like they get dog walk.
Hey, Kurt Cignetti's got his team cooking though right now.
Shout out Kurt, man.
Dude, I will shout out Kurt Cignetti. Been a great coach the last 2 years for Indiana. Has changed their program around. But Jaden, I agree. I'm not so sold on Ohio State yet. Fernando Mendoza has not. I mean, he's been okay. But he's gonna have to prove himself this week because like I said, he got Oregon. He got the number 3 team in the country. So, Zach, over to you with the Texas Tech Red Raiders. What a shocking surprise this has been for the Texas Tech in a terrible Big 12, a terrible Big 12.
I mean, I in the preseason, I was pretty high on them in general because I know they brought a good bit back, and the quarterback they have,
Bear Morton,
he is insane. I mean, they've just been absolutely like when you play bad teams, the best you can do is blow them out. And Texas Tech has not had a single close game yet. Their closest one was Utah, where they still beat by 24 points, and Utah's not a bad team.
Utah wasn't a bad team at the time either, so yeah, you are right.
I really think Texas Tech. I think they're going to win the Big 12 at this rate. I think they're a team in their conference.
But could we see a Texas Tech like make a run, like not like a huge run, but could they upset somebody in this top 10 when the playoffs come out? In the top 12.
Yeah, I absolutely see it. I mean, depending on how the bracket works out, let's say they win the Big 12. So then it's Ohio State, Miami. Wait, no, they got rid of the auto buys, didn't they?
Yes, no, they got rid of the auto conference champion. So it'll go by who, it'll go in order. So it'll go right now.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. So now the conference champions still get in, but it doesn't mean they're guaranteed a bye. That's right.
They're not guaranteed the number 1, 2, or 3, or 4 seed.
So if Texas goes 12-0, they're probably still a 2 or 3 seed, and I think personally, just because teams in front of them are going to lose, that's an objective fact.
But right now, it's projected to be Ohio State, Miami, Oregon, and Ole Miss as the 4 for the lot.
Out of this top 10, I could easily see them bringing down Alabama, Indiana, and Texas A&M on the right day in the right environment.
Oh, I skipped Alabama. Damn.
I think they could beat Miami too, to be honest. That offense Texas Tech has is just
they could
insanely efficient.
Jaden, over to you in Alabama. I skipped Alabama. They're supposed to be 8, and Texas Tech is 9, but I skipped Alabama. So over to you in Alabama.
I mean, Alabama this year, they've shown. I mean, outside of that mishap in the first game against Florida State. I felt like Bama's been phenomenal. I mean, they've beaten some pretty decent teams from Georgia and Vanderbilt. I hate to say this, Vanderbilt, but this was the first time I ever rooted for someone against you guys in an absolute hate watch after what y'all did to my team a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I hate to say it. No one has ever said, "Oh, I hate watch Vanderbilt." I hate watch. I will probably say it. I hate watch
Well, I'm
Vanderbilt
sure some
this
Tennessee
past weekend.
did that off and on.
Yeah.
That Vandy game was, oh my God, it was.
That was a heartbreaker because they had a chance to win, and Diego Pavia just throws an interception in the red zone.
Yeah, Diego
Having
choked.
2 red zone turnovers is never good when you can not force some on the other side of the football. And I feel like that would hurt Vanderbilt, but I also feel like Vanderbilt needed this loss to let them know that, we're back in the big SEC play. We're not as good as we think we are. We got some tough matchups coming up in Tennessee, LSU. I think they play did they play Georgia?
Hold on, I can look.
Vanderbilt?
Because
They
I know
play-
it's
They play LSU, Missouri,
Texas.
Auburn, Tennessee.
Oh yeah, it can get really ugly for Vanderbilt, but I still see Vanderbilt as an 8-win team. I mean, they can get some games out of that. I feel like.
I mean, personally, I think they might end up finding their way into 9 or 10 wins with the remaining schedule.
Yeah, I think they could possibly beat Auburn and they can beat Kentucky for sure. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Kentucky.
I don't know.
Kentucky's boo-boo.
I don't know if they beat LSU. I don't know if they
Booty
beat
plates.
Missouri, and I don't know if they beat Texas. So
I think they actually. The only thing going against them is the fact they play Texas in Austin.
yes,
But I really just don't
that's
think
why.
Texas is a very good team.
Hey, I think you forgot Vanderbilt almost beat Texas last year too.
They did, but that was in Vandy. It's not in Texas. But over to you, Zach. For the first time since 2017, the Georgia Bulldogs have not been ranked in the top 5. They dropped to 10 after the huge loss to not the huge loss, but the heartbreaking loss to Alabama.
They dropped to
Alabama.
14, and then they went back up.
And then they went back to 10. Yeah, but it's the first time they've been outside of the top 10 or outside of the top 5 for 2 weeks straight since 2017. What do you think? Georgia. Gunnar Stockton played well this week, but
Yeah, it was nice to see him be up on
Honestly,
Fire Stoops.
Georgia's just been a very disappointing team. Not in the same vein as Clemson, Penn State, or Texas, but they came in with not as national title favorites, but
Fire
they
Mike
were,
Bobo.
they were in there. But they're not that good. I personally don't think they're the top 10 team in the country. They look sluggish every week. I think they should have lost to Tennessee, to be honest, but
they should have. Tennessee's freaking kicker lost in that damn game.
Yeah, that was pretty sad, man.
And they
But-
Said that,
Kentucky by
then Gamecocks
21.
got beat later that night.
But Kentucky might be the worst team in the SEC too.
Oh, definitely, by far.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
But
But I'm gonna agree with what Jaden said. Mike Bobo needs to go. But Georgia's defense has been the bottom 5 defense in the SEC for the last 5 weeks. You know how usually they are. They're usually 1 or 2 in defense in the SEC. To be bottom 5 right now, you got to fix some. Kirby Smart, you got to fix something. Your defense is not as strong as they used to be.
Well, it's also hard to play defense anymore for teams like Georgia because they're always focused on a lot of defensive line pressure and just attacking the quarterback. But now and you said this was
All
Clemson
those
too now,
dogs
they're calling-
gone.
But not only that, what you see is with Clemson too is refs are throwing roughing the passer a lot more than they used to. That's quite.
But still, I look.
harder.
I look at Georgia for their DBs and their D line. Georgia's DBs have been shitty this year. Their D line's been. I would say they've overperformed. I'll say they've overperformed because the D line's supposed to be young and not supposed to be that good, but they've been well. The front five for Georgia has been well. And I'm going to discredit the defensive backs and the linebackers. The linebackers look out of sorts. They're not communicating. The defensive backs look – I don't even know where Kirby Smart found all these defensive backs that can't play because usually they always have good ones that can play.
And I'm also going to add this. I think Georgia's going to drop to Auburn this weekend. I don't think they're going to leave Auburn with a win.
In Jordan-Hare? They're in Jordan-Hare, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're at Auburn. I think they're going to – I just don't see it in Georgia. I just don't see it.
All right, Jaden, you got the LSU Tigers with now the second-ranked defense after they've lost to Ole Miss, but they still have a top 5 defense in the country and probably the best defense in the SEC, but led by a quarterback who's been shaky and terrible for the LSU Tigers, and they also have no run game.
All right, so LSU, I mean, they lost that game to Ole Miss. We all seen how that went. We all know how that game went. I feel like LSU has a habit of struggling against mobile quarterbacks for some weird reason, similar to like my Gamecock. I feel like LSU definitely has to get the running game rolling. If you don't have a running game or at least a solid running game, you're going to become one-dimensional, and becoming one-dimensional in football on any level is a horrible thing to have, unless it's like Little League or something. So LSU definitely has to get the run game going. Nussmeier has to absolutely be better. He was the Heisman favorite this year, and he hasn't really done anything.
He's done nothing.
Nothing at all. Nothing to note. I mean, we got a 1-year anniversary coming up with the Gamecocks and LSU game coming up this weekend. It's at LSU Stadium, Tiger Stadium.
Death Valley.
Like,
the original Death Valley.
It's in Death Valley. I feel like LSU is going to win this game. I mean, they got the bye week. Coming off a strong bye week. And South Carolina doesn't have a run game. I mean, we saw a little glimpse of it late in the Kentucky game, but that's just microwave minutes, basically.
Look. I'm gonna say it's been great that South Carolina's defense has kind of stepped up for them, and I really think it's going to be a defensive battle. Do they play this week, right?
We play them this weekend.
Yeah. It's going to be a hell of a defensive battle between South Carolina and LSU. And you know, crazy things happen in the games in the past years. The crazy things have happened, and I think another crazy thing happens this year. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to speak about LSU. Like I said, I think they have the best defensive player in the country. I just don't think that he's going to get enough credit because LSU lost. If LSU won, he might be getting nods for the Heisman because I think he's the best linebacker. Might either be the number 1, number 2, or number 3 overall pick in the NFL draft. Harold Perkins has been phenomenal in his college career for the last 3-4 years in college, and it shows because he looks like the best linebacker that we've seen in a long time in coming out to go to the draft. He looks like the best interior outside. He play interior outside. He play edge too. So I mean, he looks phenomenal. But I'm gonna go Zach with the Tennessee Volunteers and their new quarterback Joey Aguilar, who's been phenomenal for them too. Their only losses to the Georgia Bulldogs in double overtime, but they struggled against the Mississippi State Bulldogs a couple of weeks ago on a bye last week. But now they got to play a team that beat them last year in a trap game against Arkansas.
I mean, it's been nice. Well, I'll let Zach go. You go, Zach.
Sorry, honestly, I think Tennessee as an actual team is one of the best 10 in the country. I think they haven't looked impressive enough, but I think as an actual team, there's an argument. But I think they're heading for a train wreck this week against Arkansas. And it's not because I think Arkansas is a good team. It's because Bobby Petrino rides again. He's going to pull his magical bullshit and find a way
Somehow, some way, Tennessee will lose this damn game to fucking Arkansas.
I think if you're taking – I think Joey Aguilar has a legitimate argument to be one of the best 5 quarterbacks in the country, and he has a lots of experience. And like I said, I do think Tennessee should have beaten Georgia. They just choked it. They were a better team than Georgia, I think, and I still think
they didn't choke it. Their kicker choked it is what happened.
It's just. I really think there's no reason for them to not go at least 10-2 against the schedule, but I'm just for some reason this Arkansas game doesn't sit right with me. They were a terrible team, but with Bobby Petrino at the helm, I think they're going to pull something off for no reason.
I think we go 9-3. I think we lose to Alabama and we lose to Oklahoma. But Jaden, over to you. What was you going to say about Tennessee?
I was gonna say it's been nice to see Tennessee just have that breakup with Nico and still have a guy in Joey Aguilar. Joey Aguilar, he's a name that's been around this area. 2 years ago, I watched them play a Thursday night game against Coastal. I was there
At
in
App State,
attendance.
yeah, we all watched him do that. I watched him play
We
as
watched.
well.
I mean, when he was here, it did not look good at App State. And then when he went to UCLA, and then after a while, UCLA you got Nico, and then he just was like, dang, who want me? So basically, we saw an undisputed trade, kind of like an undercover
Yeah,
trade.
I will
Nico for
say,
Joey.
Jaden, you were right. You thought Joey Aguilar was going to be at least decent for Tennessee, and I was like, oh, he going to be shitty. You should start Jake Merklinger, who's been there for Tennessee. But now I can't complain. Joey Aguilar has been great, and I honestly think he should be in Heisman conversations right now.
Shout out Joey, man.
But the interceptions is why I won't put him in the Heisman conversation, because he has turned the ball over a little bit more than these quarterbacks that are in the Heisman race right now. So, but Jaden, I don't know. Hold on. My thing keeps shutting off. Over to you with Georgia Tech. Wow, Georgia Tech ranked one of their highest since in a long time. I think this is the highest they've been ranked since like 1970 something. They're ranked 13th in the country.
Well,
they
with
finished
Georgia Tech,
number 8.
no,
here.
Georgia Tech, they won a national championship with
In 08.
Colorado. They won a national championship with Colorado in the 90s. But Georgia Tech, I mean, Haynes King.
But I think they were like the number 3 team, and they were allowed to get in because of something happened to the number 2 team.
Chris's glorious King, Haynes King. Texas A&M favorite of Chris's. NCAA 25 legend of Chris. I'm gonna do this with Chris. All right. This was nice to see Georgia Tech kind of, just bounce back. I mean, they've been a tough team. You seen that game, that historic game last year with Georgia last year, and to go in there and bring Clemson and beat them at home, beat Clemson on their home turf. They didn't win the Clemson on their home turf, but you know what I'm saying. Georgia Tech was home and they beat Clemson. I mean, to see that and then to play down to the level of Wake Forest, you've seen a level of highs and lows. That Wake Forest game, Wake Forest was supposed to win that game. They missed a crucial penalty late in that game. I felt like should have went towards Wake Forest. That would have gave them the first down, and they could have just needed the ball to win the game. But just the Yellow Jackets, I feel like they played to the level of their opponent. It doesn't matter. They could literally play like Ohio State, and they'll be up there with Ohio State. But then they could play a team like Kentucky and play down to the Kentucky level. So it's kind of been a little weird season, but I think with Haynes King at the helm, I do feel like Georgia Tech can make it.
So Jade, I got a question for you. If Hayes King goes down, is Georgia Tech?
Oh yeah, season's over. Season's over. Season's over.
Because
Season's over.
The injury history with Hayes King, and if he gets hurt, which is highly likely that he can get hurt this season, with seven games left to go, he can possibly get hurt, and that could ruin Georgia Tech's magical ACC run right now.
You know how it go, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the ACC is kind of open right now. I feel like. I mean, Clemson only just has. Well, they have 2 ACC losses, so they're kind of out the mix right now. They would need some teams up in front of them to lose.
But you never know.
It did happen last year.
Shit happens in the ACC. You never fucking know.
I just don't see Miami losing 2 ACC games. I can see Georgia Tech losing like 1 or 2.
Well, here's the thing. Clemson needs Miami to win out to make the ACC championship. Because if that happens, if they win out, they play Duke. I don't know if they play Virginia or not, but they play everybody in front of Clemson right now. Clemson
No.
could. It's not going to happen, but Clemson could make the ACC championship.
Well,
still with some
well,
bullshit.
Miami has to hope that Georgia Tech does not. Miami cannot lose, or Georgia Tech will take their spot if Georgia Tech wins out.
That's true because the record, how the ACC records work.
Well, I think if
conference
Miami
record.
wins out, they're in regardless.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
They don't play
That's
Virginia.
what I'm saying. I'm saying if Miami wins, they're in regardless. But if Miami loses and Georgia Tech wins out, Georgia Tech gets in regardless.
But they're not losing to anybody on that schedule. They're not going to be less than a 14-point favorite.
Who, Miami?
Yeah, the rest of their schedule is terrible.
But
The best team they have left is SMU.
But you know they can fuck around and fucking
Pony up.
lose to somebody. But Zach, I'm gonna go over to you to the number 14th ranked team in the country, the Missouri Tigers, led by former Penn State backup quarterback Bo Perbilla.
Yeah, I'm sure Penn State's wishing he was still there.
And hold on.
but-
And I want to say we got to give credit to Ahmad Hardy, the running back from Missouri, one of the probably either the second best behind Jeremiah Love in the country, one of the best running backs in the country right now.
I'll just say Missouri's defense is legitimate with nothing else. I mean, Jaden, I'm sorry I have to bring this up, but they held
No.
-9 rushing. I mean, holding any team to negative rushing yards is impressive, but especially when you have baby Cam Newton on your team.
That is true.
Yeah, he took a couple of bad sacks that game.
And he had a couple bad throws in that game too that
And
he should not have thrown.
And they beat UMass 42-6. I mean, that everyone expected that, but they have some good wins. I think the fact that they beat Kansas by 11 speaks pretty highly of them.
And also I will say this: they have a great trio of receiving core, especially their freshmen in the slot. Their freshmen in the slot has been
key
phenomenal.
part. We missing the key part of the program, the running back.
I said
Ahmad
Ahmad
Hardy is like
He's a fucking dog. He's a fucking dog, man.
If Jeremiah Love wasn't in the NFL, it would be Ahmad Hardy, the number one running back in the country right now.
And so,
here's what I'll say about Missouri: they get Alabama at home this weekend. If they
Bama's gonna win that.
If they drop Alabama in that game, though.
I forgot Alabama plays Missouri. If Missouri beats Alabama, damn.
And that legitimately could happen. I mean, this is not a Missouri of the old. This is like 2011 Missouri or whatever it was, where they finished number 5.
And it seems like Alabama struggles against great defenses. Besides Georgia, like I said, Georgia doesn't have the greatest of defenses that we thought they had. But when you see Florida State's front four might be one of the best in the country as well.
They also struggled against Vanderbilt's defense until the last fight when they got.
Yeah, that front four for Vandy was pushing though as well. So if Missouri can get after Ty Simpson and hold Ryan Williams, I think they might win that football game.
And if they beat Alabama, I know Alabama's probably not the best team they're going to play, but mentally beating Alabama at home like that is going to be a massive morale boost for them.
Jaden, over to you in the Michigan Wolverines, led by freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood.
I mean, Michigan. We're just, I mean, they've had some quality wins in Nebraska and Wisconsin in recent weeks. I mean, Bryce Underwood, I mean, you haven't really heard much about him in terms of national media in comparison to like before the season started, but he's been playing pretty good. I mean, you got a solid run game going, you got a group of receivers that makes it easier for him, and the defense still is holding up for him. I mean, interim coach Biff Poggi, he's been holding it down since Sharon Moore has been suspended. And I feel like Michigan, they're not going to do anything great, but I feel like they can be able to squeak out to like maybe 9-10 wins. And it would be a nice matchup for them late in the season to see them go against Ohio State.
Yeah. Zach, over to you with Notre Dame, one of the only two lost teams in the top 25.
And both those losses was only by like a combined 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they have 2 losses, but I mean, it's hard to find. I hate the term quality loss, but it's hard to find another team with 2 losses that you can't argue. They lost to number 2 Miami by 3 and number 5 Texas A&M by 1. And every other game past that, they've won by at least 3 touchdowns. And they're
And
gonna,
CJ Carr has gotten better in every single game.
So
So
that blowout game against Arkansas was great to see.
yes.
yeah, it's been a great season for them so far. In all honesty, I mean, they lost 2 games. So hold on.
Okay. Yeah, Jaden, they've only lost 2 games, and they have the best running back in the country in Jeremiah.
Sorry, I'm back now. They were asking me a question.
You're good. But they back to Zach. They do have the best running back in the country in Jeremiah.
Oh, almost certainly. I mean, Jeremiah Love has been crazy for the past few years. He's been there. I mean, last year 1,100 yards, 17 touchdowns.
Could we say that Jeremiah Love should be a Heisman finalist? I'm not going to say he's a favorite, but should he be in that conversation?
I mean, considering Ashton Jeanty made it all the way there last year, I would say he probably should. I mean,
but Ashton Jeanty put up a season that we've never seen before.
Well, what I'm thinking is Love's he's not gonna put up that many, but I think he's gonna get well over 1,000 yards with the way. Granted, they're also splitting a lot with Price, though, who also himself is quite good too.
Why is it that Notre Dame and Penn State have these like weird, sneaky good running backs, and they end up being very decent in it? Like Kyron Williams, I didn't think he was that good. Look at him.
Well, I personally think running back's one of the easiest positions to recruit because all you need is either a guy that's big enough to blast through defensive lines or is the right size to be shifty.
But also you got to think Jeremiah Love must love his O-line because Notre Dame and their O-line, they're usually good every year. So
yeah. I will say though, this weekend I'm gonna have a fun time watching Notre Dame because they're playing NC State. That'll be a very entertaining hate watch.
It will be. Jaden, over to you in number 17th ranked Illinois, who plays Ohio State this week.
Illinois, you got dog walked by Indiana earlier this year, and I don't really have a bad taste in my mouth after what Brett Bielema did last year in the bowl game against South Carolina. I feel like Ohio State completely controls this game defensively. And Illinois barely gets to even reach 20 points.
I do want to say this to piggyback off of you, Jaden. I want to say Ohio State, yes, they've been good, but they haven't really played nobody. I mean, Washington was a tough test for them, but Washington didn't squeak it out. I think a team like Illinois with a quarterback like Luke Altmaier, they can win this game. I'm not saying that they are. They can win this game, though. And Illinois' defense this year, barring the Illinois mishap or the Indiana mishap, I think this defensive backcourt is really nice, and they can hold up Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. My issue for Ohio State is I don't know how Julian Saint's going to do against when he meets a good defensive back crew like Illinois has, and can he figure out a way to beat them over the top and have to use his arm to win the game, because Illinois' front line's not half bad, but they're not great either. But Luke Altmaier's gonna show you on the offensive side what he's made of, because he's a really good quarterback. But can Julian Saint do what I think he can do and throw it over top to Jeremiah Smith, probably the best receiver in the country?
To come off what you said, I feel like like you said, like Saint hasn't really been tested. I mean, he's been doing a great job, just being, making the right passes, being a good game manager. But he hasn't really, like you said, been tested by like a good defensive back team.
But he will this week, because Illinois has a bunch of seniors. I think their corner, their slot corner, their number 2 corner, and their 2 safeties are all seniors, and then their starting corner is a freshman. So
I feel like this is going to be Saints coming out party, and they still win this game at least by 2 touchdowns. I
do too. I think we see. I don't like Ohio State, but I think Saint needs to prove himself in this game, because everybody in the country right now is not believing in Saint as much as other quarterbacks. I think Saint needs to prove himself against a good defensive back core in Illinois. Zach, over to you and the BYU Cougars, led by quarterback that wears number 47 for them.
Oh,
Yeah, it is weird to see that, to be honest. But I mean, BYU's. I mean, they've for the past several years they've been one of the better teams in the country. I mean, it's kind of hard to really talk much about.
They're
them.
also in the Big 12, by the way. So
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. I like what they have. Bachmeier is a pretty good quarterback. He's very efficient. He's only had one interception so far this year, which
Yep.
at midseason, if you're only sitting at one turnover, you're in pretty good hands. Especially as a true freshman. I mean, that dude is really stepping in.
unless you have a shitty game and you fucking like throw like 5 interceptions.
And that could happen, and it might. I mean, I like their odds to make the Big 12 championship, but they do have to play at Texas Tech, which I think they're going to drop that.
But
And
but
Mike-
you don't. But the way the Big 12 does it, it's not all about division winners. It's about the conference. So it'll be the top 2 teams
Yeah,
in there. So if BYU can hold on to that loss and not lose any more games and hope that Iowa State loses again or Arizona State loses again.
yeah,
it'll
Arizona
be-
Iowa
State's
State's
still
already
lurking
lost.
around, by the way.
yeah.
They're
Iowa
lurking
State
around.
lost to Cincinnati, so they're.
But it
so
doesn't
they
matter. They
help.
still have one loss though. It's going to matter. It's going to matter if BYU beats Texas Tech, I think it's going to be BYU Texas Tech.
It's
but
guaranteed. Yeah,
But if Texas Tech beat BYU, now you've got to think, okay, if Arizona State doesn't lose or if Iowa State doesn't lose another game, BYU, you're not getting it.
well, they also have to be careful because Cincinnati seems to be an upset-minded team. So
They should have beat Nebraska, by the way.
They should have, but
yeah, they're very close.
fucking
to
refs.
being
The
defeated.
fucking refs in that game are shitty.
Shout
I
out
was
Sorsby,
shocked
by
to
the
see
way.
them beat Kansas. I thought Kansas was going to be was going to win the Big 12
What'd you
before
say,
the
JD?
season started.
Said shout out Sorsby, the quarterback for Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're
Right.
good. Brendan Sorsby, yeah, he's really good too.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, that's just I just think it's impressive what they're doing off the back of a true freshman at quarterback, and he can run too. I mean, he's got legs.
He's the brother of Hank Bachmeier, by the way. So
Not surprising.
not surprising. But Jaden, over to you, the number 19th ranked team in the country, in the Virginia Cavaliers, coming off of a huge win against Florida State
And Louisville.
and Louisville too, in
Both in
the
overtime.
close one. Both in overtime. And Tony Elliott has been cooking the last 2 weeks for Virginia Cavaliers.
He needs to replace Dabo.
Speak about Virginia. If you told me Virginia would only had one loss at this point of the season, I would have looked at you sideways. Virginia
And they got a
historically-
cupcake schedule, by the way, guys.
Historically, Virginia has been kind of boo-boo. I'm not going to say the other word, out of respect. But they, in comparison to like Virginia Tech, they've been horrible. I mean, to see them have this season and kind of bounce back, beating Florida State at home, having a crowd rush as soon as the ball drops to the ground is kind of crazy. I mean, and they beat Louisville in overtime. I mean,
A good Louisville team, too.
great. I mean, I'm pretty sure Louisville's quarterback, I forgot his name. He's a transfer.
Miller
or something.
Moss. Miller Moss.
Miller Moss come in there. I mean, Louisville's no joke. Let's be real. Louisville's no joke. I mean, he's always been kind of solid. I mean, I don't like the coach there. I mean, I feel like what he did to Cincinnati was kind of bad. But this isn't about them. Virginia easily has a chance to make a run for the ACC championship game, but I feel like they will implode somehow because teams like Virginia always do that for some reason. But it's always
they
nice
have
to see
Duke
them
and
have a start.
Callaway, so that could be where they do that at.
I do want to say this on down the road about the Cal's quarterback. I think the Cal quarterback might be a Heisman Trophy winner in one of his years that he plays because he is absolutely phenomenal. He puts balls in places I
Wait,
never
did
seen.
Duke beat California? I think they beat California, right?
Duke beat the shit out of California.
Yeah, that game was not close. I mean, yeah, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce Cal's QB's name, but as a true
I can
freshman,
say it. I know his name. I heard it. It's Jaren Kway Sagaputele.
Mm.
Like I do agree. I think he could easily be a Heisman contender 2 or 3 years down the
Now,
road.
now
The
hear
question
me.
is, does he stay at Cal?
No, hear me out. This is where he's gonna go. He's gonna go to Miami next year.
You're probably right. Oh God.
He's gonna go to Miami next year. If he don't go to Miami, he going to LSU. He going to LSU. If he don't go to Miami, he going to LSU. Jaron Kway Saguputele. Sounds like a Miami Hurricane.
Well, and especially if Carson Beck ends up being a top draft pick this year, that's going to make people want to go quarterback for Miami.
Yeah. Zach, over to you with Vandy. I know they just come off a tough loss to Alabama.
I mean, yeah. As much as most of us wanted to see Vanderbilt win that for the story, that it was the expected result for Alabama to win that game. I mean, they're deeper at Vanderbilt at every facet of the game. I think Vanderbilt might be better coached, but still, I can only go so far.
Yeah,
like, it's a heartbreaker to lose to Alabama, and it's even worse that Vanderbilt had a chance to win that game late in the fourth and just blew it. But they're still a good team, and there's still a chance, a very good chance. I don't think they run the table, but 8-4, 9-3, or even 10-2 are all very possible here.
that is very possible. That's very good. Very good. That's very good for a Vandy team that's been,
Say they lose to LSU next week, which they might. LSU is a great defense, but Vanderbilt's offense is so good.
What if they beat LSU next week?
If they beat
LSU, I'll be happy.
If they beat LSU, then I would argue they're going to win out the rest of their schedule. But LSU is why I'm saying they're not going to win out.
I hope they don't win out the rest of their schedule. I want Tennessee to beat the shit out of them because Diego Pavia said that they the best team in Tennessee. I want to see it. I want to freaking see it.
Tennessee State's better.
Memphis is better right now. Memphis is technically the best team in Tennessee right now.
We'll get to
definitely Tennessee State, bro.
Really need to talk about the AAC entirely, not just Memphis and South Florida.
Yeah, AAC is pretty good.
The AAC is phenomenal this year. This is incredible. But Jaden, over to you in Arizona State Sun Devils.
The Sun Devils, I mean, they had this loss that they're going to be regretting later in terms of when the playoff comes around.
Didn't they lose to Kansas?
They lost to Mississippi State.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Bulldogs. They lost to the Bulldogs on a late play in the game with 45 seconds left.
All these SEC teams besides Kentucky and Arkansas are good in the SEC.
They just, but like all good conferences do, it's going to be a cat eat cat world. Everyone's going to be taking each other out, just like the ACC used to do back in the day in the Pac-12, especially the Pac-12. Pac-12, somebody was always beating somebody they wasn't supposed to.
We get that back next year.
They get it back next year. Arizona State, I mean, they had a comeback win. I forgot who it was. They were down like 17-0. I forgot who they were playing. Oh my goodness. Trevor. Hunter! Oh my God. Nice catch. But back to Arizona State. They was down Travis Hunter made a nice catch.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
By the time he did something. But yeah.
Oh, TCU last.
Who was it? Yeah, TCU. Yeah, I remember that game. So yeah, they were down 17-0. They came back and scratched out a victory.
Zach, you might be right though. Hold on, I'm sorry to cut you off, Jay. You might be
right.
You're
good.
BYU has to win out because Arizona State and Iowa State play each other. So Texas Tech would have to win out. BYU would have to hope that Iowa State loses another game or Arizona State would lose another game.
I think we're forgetting something. We're forgetting something here. We got a couple of teams still sticking around. You got Arizona at 4-1.
Cincinnati
at 4-1 as well.
Too, but they play BYU and some other teams, so that'll
stop. You even got Kansas sticking around too.
But Kansas worries me though because
Kansas should easily be 5-1. They choked that game against Missouri.
I know, but Kansas worries me. That defense worries me for Kansas.
Yeah, that defense is not good. It is not good.
Zach, I'm going to go to the running mate of Arizona State, also in the Big 12, Iowa State.
Yeah, so I'm just being blunt about it. I don't think Iowa State's a very good team at all.
Led by Rocco Beck too, the quarterback.
Rocco
I
Beck,
think Beck
I mean,
is a good quarterback, but I think they're just not a good team. I mean, the best win on their schedule is Arizona. I mean, Kansas State's a terrible team. They barely beat a mediocre Iowa.
The fall off of Kansas State when they were
They,
ranked 20.
Kansas State should have beat Baylor last week, but they caught the
Iowa
guy
State
out of bounds.
lost to Arkansas, and then they lost to Cincinnati by 8 last week in a game that Iowa State had to make a comeback in just to make it close. Like, I don't think they're a very good. I understand 5-1, you kind of have to have them ranked, but I don't think they're one of the best 20 top 5 teams in the country. I don't think they're one of the best 30.
Like you said, Zach, I think it's going to come down to BYU and Texas Tech. But like I said, they're
Wait,
going
don't
to
BYU and Utah play later this year?
Yeah.
I think Utah's
Well,
out already, though.
But Utah's
Damn.
already out. But if BYU loses, they still – honestly, I think if BYU beats – don't they play Iowa State or Arizona State?
BYU?
Yeah.
Yeah, they play Iowa State in like 3
So
weeks.
look, if they beat Iowa State and then they lose to Utah, I think BYU still gets in as long as Arizona State loses.
Which Arizona State is extremely disappointing, but I guess we'll get to them later.
Yeah, but Jaden, over to the probably the best. Well, am I going to say that the best team in the American Conference right now
Memphis
is the Memphis Tigers, the best team in Tennessee currently right now.
I mean, the American Conference is on fire right now. You got 3 good teams there. I mean, but back to Memphis. Memphis had a nice little comeback win. Trevor got a touchdown, by the way. Memphis had a nice comeback win
Did he
against
throw
Arkansas. No, he ran it.
Okay.
Against Arkansas. I mean, that game, what can I say? I mean, late in the game, Arkansas is in the red zone. Memphis forces a fumble and recovers it. I mean, what can you even say about that game? Just phenomenal game by Memphis. I mean,
I'm going to say Memphis is chewing right now.
Memphis is honestly, they could easily just make the college football playoff. That's the group of 5 team. They're the favorite right now, in my opinion. They're 6-0. Got a quality win against Arkansas, even though Arkansas has of late not really shown anything, getting blown out by Notre Dame and losing that game to Ole Miss hurt them phenomenally. Well, not phenomenally, but tremendously. And that kind of hurts Memphis a little bit, but it's still a Power 4 win. Power 4 wins is always going to help you when you're a group of 5 team.
I won. I'm going to win for shitty performance, guys.
Well,
by this. Yeah, no, I did not win this week.
Look, by this guy right here. And I should have started.
So the NFL fantasy one?
Yeah, I should have started Kendrick Bourne.
I'm 1-3. I'm just playing spoiler right now.
I'm gonna be 2-3 after this week, so I'm not in terrible position. It's just
Jaden's cooked.
Oh yeah, I'm cooked.
You're saying I have a fantasy team. I would have won the first week, but I started the wrong quarterback.
You did. But okay, over to Zach with another great AAC team in the USF Bulls with a big win over Florida this year, and their only loss is to number 2 ranked Miami.
So for one, let's back up here and talk about the American overall. I know Jaden alluded to a little bit, but right now there are 3 5-0 or better teams in the American, with South Florida with South Florida's only loss being Miami, and Tulane even is 4-1. They're lost to Ole Miss. Like, they have potentially 6 different playoff contenders in that conference alone.
Look, wouldn't it be crazy if all 3 made college football playoffs?
Oh, there's no way.
They're definitely changing the script next year. That happens
because they all play each other. But I mean, here's the thing. So I think South Florida is the best team in the American. I think that for a fact. I mean, I like their quarterback.
I don't agree. Don't agree. I think Memphis is the best team in the ACC. Just defensively, I think they have one of the best defenses in the country too.
But
So
I will say, Navy and North Texas are right there with them, though. They just don't have any significant wins yet. But Navy, they play Memphis, they play South Florida, and they play Notre Dame.
damn.
Let's say they win all three of those games somehow. They'd be 11-0 during the playoff selection committee. I mean, how do you keep Navy out of that? I guess 12-0 because they'd probably win the American too.
No, then you got to think they'd probably be 13-0 because they play an Army Navy game.
But Army happens
yeah.
after this playoff selection happens.
But no, they'd be 13-0 because they play the Army Navy game.
Yeah, I'm in that game as well. I'm singing the national anthem.
And we're a Navy family, so we always cheer for them. But,
I cheer for Army just because they run the better triple option. So,
but North Texas is in the same spot. They play South Florida Friday evening. Actually, if they win that game, they're on watch for the American themselves. So,
well, Navy was good last year too. So,
Oh yeah.
So was Army.
Yeah, Army really probably would have made the playoffs, but they did not have a chance against Notre Dame. But my thing with South Florida is they've been one of the worst teams in the country for the past 5-6 years.
Oh, Worthy got a catch.
4-1. I
Who?
mean,
Worthy.
Fuck
Oh,
Worthy.
he's hurt. Never mind. He's hurt. His ankle's hurt.
But I think the story for South Florida, even if you don't win the American and you don't make the playoffs.
Sorry, I got to play my guitar. The guy I'm playing has Worthy, so
it's just a huge story here for South Florida because they've been terrible for so long. And you get Alex Golesh, you upset at the time everybody thought a good Florida team away. He get absolutely obliterated by Miami, but
yeah. I want to say Alex Golesh is the former offensive coordinator of Josh Heupel, by the way.
I'll also say, as long as they don't lose, Memphis and South Florida should be game day on October 25th, as long as neither of them lose before that.
Yeah.
So that would be a huge game.
Jaden, what were you going to say?
I'm going to say if USF makes the playoffs, loses a game, you think Alex Golesh leaves and just get another Power 4 job?
Oh, yeah.
I think he's leaving anyways after this year.
For sure. I think if who's on the hot seat right now? Florida would be a good spot for Alex Golesh because he's already in Florida. And imagine what he could do. Look what he's doing with Byron Brown, for Pete's sake.
I mean, Arkansas is open. UCLA is already open. Virginia Tech is open.
But I want to see him. I want to see him at like Arkansas or Florida.
Yeah, but Alex Golesh at Virginia Tech might cook a lot too.
But I want to see him at Arkansas just because he's the former he's the former OC of Josh Heupel. So
I think North Carolina is going to come open too. I think Bill Belichick's just going to quit.
But he's already said that job's going to go to his son.
Yeah, I don't think UNC is going to have to honor it though. If they fire him,
you don't have to honor it.
He is terrible, and their son is not a good DC either.
No, he's shitty. His son is so shitty.
But start from somewhere.
Their issue is why are they starting Gio Lopez when they can start Max Johnson? Who's better?
They should start me instead.
They started Max Johnson against.
Yeah,
Clemson.
they should start Jaden. Jaden would be better for them.
I think Mac.
Oh, where these back?
One, Mac Brown's team isn't not Mac Brown. Bill Belichick's team isn't good. But two, I think he knew Clemson was a must-win and started Max Johnson thinking Clemson would get thrown off by a quarterback they didn't have tape on, and that clearly didn't matter.
That clearly didn't work.
After the first snap of the game, you kind of knew that was over for North Carolina.
And then Jaden, to finish off the top 25, Florida State gets the last spot.
Florida State, man, you're going to be hanging on to this Bama win this whole entire season. I mean, I feel like they beat Florida later this year, but just losing to Virginia, losing to Miami the way they did. That Miami game was not as close as they said it was, like the score says. I mean, Miami basically dominated them the entire season.
Miami beat the shit out of them.
Miami could have easily ran up the score, but they chose not to. They let Florida State kind of creep around. Let me take a look at their remaining games. Just have
Yeah,
predictions
Florida
right here.
State's going to finish like 8-4.
They play Georgia State, don't they?
No, they don't. But they have to play at Clemson. They have at NC State at night, which is a game that Florida State always struggles in.
And they got a
I
Pittsburgh.
think they can beat Clemson though.
Yeah, I think they could beat Clemson too.
They can, but it's not
Knowing
tradition.
Clemson's
And the
going to get
rivalry
red hot
says
around that
FSU
time.
is going to absolutely lay an egg in that game.
I think they
gonna
do
get
get
red
beat
hot.
by NC State though, because they usually always lose to NC State.
Yeah, no, that stadium is cursed. Like I hate playing at NC State in general.
Carter
I mean, they're
Family
public
State.
enemy number 2, though. I mean, you can't really expect anything else.
That is true. That
When
is
do
true.
NC State moves on from Dave Dorn? Dave Dorn been there for like 15 years now.
Look,
NC State's quarterback needs to transfer. CJ Bailey needs to go somewhere else.
Look. I honestly don't think because Dorn's produced a lot of good players out of NC State, so I don't think he's.
Oh, they got Notre Dame coming up.
I don't think he's going to get fired this year. Next year, if he doesn't do anything, I think he's gone.
Yeah, fuck
I'm
Dave
not
Dorn.
gonna lie.
I hate
They're
that.
gonna-
I hate him.
NC State's going to regret that
that.
Virginia Tech loss. They're going to regret that because they got Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech, Miami, Florida State, all back to back.
Who? Florida State?
No, NC State.
Oh,
I really wish Clemson played NC State this year because I would love to absolutely beat the hell out of them.
yeah.
I
they
still
just-
never
these are
forgiven
weird.
Dave Dorn for trying to injure Wayne Gallman out of the game if he 2016. That the fact he admitted to that is what really makes me mad.
That's fucking funny. What? Yeah. Jaden, who you think wins the Chiefs? The Chiefs game.
Chiefs are kind of rolling right now. They got all the momentum, but I'm going to have to roll with my Jaguars.
Zach, what about you?
I want the Jaguars to win because they have 2 of the best Tigers to ever play, but I do think the Chiefs are going to eventually pull this one out.
And before we end the show, I like to do a little trivia, but we're not going to do the trivia. We're going to do who we think going to win each award for early in the season so far. Who do we think's the MVP for the NFL?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm gonna start.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start with.
MVP 's
I'm gonna start with
kinda
Jaden. I'm gonna start with Jaden.
But the MVP is kind of open this year for now. I mean, like in hindsight, got a couple of like solid teams. I mean, wouldn't be surprised if Josh Allen just gets another MVP.
Look. Well, right now, it's Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, it's Lamar, Daniel Jones.
Give it-
Lamar's not going to win it. The Ravens are
Give it to
terrible.
Daniel Jones for the memes. Give it to Daniel Jones for the memes. Fuck
Daniel
it.
Jones is in conversation, and then you've also got the quarterback with the plan. Give it to Jordan Love.
Give it to Daniel Jones. Fuck it. Daniel Jones. I mean, we've been writing this
Honestly,
guy off.
Daniel Jones needs to be comeback player of the year at the very least because he has
Yeah.
been insane.
And
Phenomenal.
honestly, my dark horse. Look. So JD, you say Daniel Jones just for shit.
I was just trolling. My actual pick is Josh Allen, but I would want Daniel Jones to win.
Zach, you saying Josh Allen too?
I would agree with Josh Allen, yeah.
Look. I'm gonna say my pick is Josh Allen, but my dark horse pick might be Baker Mayfield to win.
Oh, it's picked off.
I wouldn't be.
Devin Lloyd. Go.
Is it a pick 6?
It's a pick. It might be a pick 6. Run, nigga. I'm sorry. That's a bad word. Run, boy.
Yeah. Jackson Moy.
Devin. Yeah. Touchdown.
Jackson
Who
Moy.
rode him? Devin Lloyd.
Oh, Devin
Who
Moy.
rode him?
And
Pick 6.
oh hi.
I guess I want to watch the fourth quarter of this game. Apparently, it's getting
Oh.
insane.
What? Well, yeah. Back. So who's your dark horse MVP?
I would say Sam Darnold.
Ugh, that's a good one though. That's a good one.
That's a peak move right there.
Jaden, I think you're gonna say either Daniel Jones or
Yeah, Daniel Jones is a monster.
yeah. I mean, Daniel Jones could fuck around and win it. If Daniel Jones,
You see how he worked in that Indianapolis offense, though?
Was that a
Sheesh.
100-yard pick 6? Oh my god!
how? But look, Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones wins the MVP, everybody got to shut up about it. Everybody got to shut the hell up about it.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a New York Giants fan, and he's been crashing out every single week this year.
Well, look. I think here's the issue: they didn't build around Daniel Jones. They just gave him some people who just be like, here, you fucking throw it, just throw it.
You said they didn't build around him. I don't think they were building anything.
They wasn't building anything. All they had was Saquon for so long.
Yeah, and they wasted him, and then he won a ring with the Eagles, which is like
and offensive player
Giants'
of the year.
worst nightmare.
And offensive player of the year. Okay, on to OROY. We probably already know who's going to win OROY.
I give it to my boy Emeka Egbuka, the Ohio State rookie receiver. He's been phenomenal.
I agree.
Been lighting up NFL defenses since he got here. He's had a come out game against the Texans, and he's just been phenomenal ever since.
He might be one of the top 5 receivers in the league as a rookie already. So
I said that earlier too. I like he's insane.
And look, I hate Ohio State guys, and I really do hate Ohio State receivers. But Emeka Egbuka, you have been phenomenal, and I do think you are the winner. My dark horse, but now he got hurt. He's out for 4 weeks. Would have been a Marion Hampton from North Carolina, the rookie that plays for.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm so mad because he was my starting running back.
He was doing so good too. He would have been my dark horse, OROY. But now I think I'm gonna have to go with I think I'm gonna go Keyshawn Judkins.
Now I got to go find a backup running back.
But I think I'm gonna go.
Hampton got hurt.
But I think I'm gonna go Keyshawn Judkins for my dark horse. But my rookie of the year is Emeka Egbuka.
How has Judkins been doing? I haven't really heard much about him.
He's been balling out. He didn't play the first game this year, but ever since he's been doing pretty good.
I haven't heard Ashton Jeanty's name either.
Oh, he had a good game last week
against the Colts.
Against the Bears. Against the Bears. He had a good game against the Colts too. But the Bears is really his coming out game.
But the Raiders' O-line has been shitty though.
Yeah, he hasn't really having a chance.
I will say though, I wouldn't count out Travis Hunter in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
I don't think he's gonna get it. He's not done enough.
I don't think he will, but I wouldn't count him out just quite yet because he's.
I don't think you don't know how to use him yet. You don't know how to use him yet.
Look. I'm gonna count him out. I think the top 3 that we will see will be Ashton Jeanty, Emeka Egbuka, and like I said, maybe Keyshawn Judkins now. Maybe. Over to defensive rookie of the year.
I got Xavier Watts. Oh no! Oh my God! Get him!
What happened?
Oh, I thought they would have a kick 6, but
so
I got Xavier Watts.
Xavier Watts, the safety for the.
Yeah, he's been great this year. I think he got like 2-3 picks this year so far, just in this first month of football.
Yeah. Zach, what about you? Defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with Jaden's answer. I think it's pretty clear.
I'm gonna disagree with you guys. I actually like the name value. I think they're gonna go with the name value over the actual rookie of the year for defensive rookie of the year. To me, what I've seen, they have the best front 4 in the NFL. They can pass rush. They're very good up front. I'm going to give it to Abdul Carter just because I think that towards the end of the year, he will wreak more havoc with this. Because I think Kayvon Thibodeau gets traded at the deadline.
He definitely just needs another spot to go to.
And I can see Abdul Carter just being the monster that he is and take over. So I can see Abdul Carter winning it. But I wouldn't sleep on Xavier Watts just yet. And I would also love to see my guy Will Johnson in that conversation as well for DP or DROY. All right, now who wins OPOY, Offensive Player of the Year?
Shador.
I already know the answer. This is easy.
Who's your pick?
Puka Nacua.
The Puka.
OPOY.
Oh yeah, Puka definitely deserves it. I mean, to have Well, I think he got
He's the
like
best
500
receiver in the
yards.
league
He
by
got
stat.
500 yards already. He got 500 yards already, and we're
Yeah.
only 5 games into the season. I mean,
That
you don't
means he's
really see
due.
that.
That technically means he's due for like 2,000 something yards.
Yeah, but I think teams will tighten up on that later in the season. I feel like
Well, how are you going to when you got Devontae Adams on the other side of
they're
the
gonna shoot Puka in his kneecaps. His ex fiance gonna come in.
That's aggressive.
You're gonna take
Very
his
aggressive.
kneecaps out.
Jaden, are you agreeing that Puka might win OPOY?
Yeah, I agree. Tackle him. Yeah, I agree.
What about you, Zach?
I think after last week it should be Rico Dowdle, but yeah, you're
Shout
probably
out Rico, man. Gamecock, by the way.
Shout out Rico
Gamecock.
Dowdle, though. Shout out Rico Dowdle, but I think it's going to be Puka, and it's not going to be close. It's not going to be close. DPOY, there really hasn't been a really decent defensive player so far.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. He had a pick six just now. Devin Lloyd has had a phenomenal season.
I mean, I can't sleep on Devin Lloyd, but I'm talking about like Devin Lloyd's just becoming a superstar. I'm talking about like a superstar player.
Who has been the best defensive player this year so far? I haven't thought about that.
You have a point there.
I would. I don't know. Really don't know. That's a good question. I mean, right now I think Myles Garrett's the front runner because of his sacks.
Yeah, Myles Garrett's getting kind of old, ain't he? Though.
Yeah. Right now it's.
Derek Brown is pretty good, but I don't know if he'd be Defensive Player of the Year.
The front runner right now is Micah Parsons.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's Micah Parsons, Aiden Hutchinson, T.J. Watt, Miles.
Oh, yeah, Aiden's been playing good too.
And
just coming off that injury.
And Devin Lloyd is fifth.
Shout out Devin Lloyd, man.
Well, after tonight, he's gonna go up a little bit. But honestly, I still don't understand what the Cowboys were doing trading away Micah Parsons. They didn't get that much for him either.
They got 2 first-round picks.
And Kenny Clark.
And Kenny Clark.
Probably should have gotten 3 out of that. I mean,
They needed look. They needed a defensive tackle so fucking bad. Dallas did. They got it. They can survive a year where they have a decent down year and go get an edge rusher.
I think every year's a down year for the Cowboys.
It don't matter. Jerry Jones has 2 first-round. They have the Green Bay first-round pick and they can get an edge rusher and a.
They could have got me for free.
They got him for free. They can get 2 edge rushers if they want to for free.
They could get me for free.
Yeah, they can get me for free too.
But Jerry Jones doesn't like black players. He's only take white
players. Yeah, that's true. Zach did state it. He's right.
Yeah. Maybe he'll go draft a white wide receiver or a white edge rusher.
I mean, Will Helt actually might end up being in the 2nd, 3rd round conversation, though, too.
Yeah.
He actually might not be a bad pickup.
We've got Coach of the Year.
Well, it's not going to be John Harbaugh, I can tell you that.
Wait, what's going on with North Dakota State?
What?
No, I saw this little Twitter saying they miss Cam Miller. Let's see who's going.
Coach of the Year?
Yeah, who's going to win Coach of the Year?
If Kevin O'Connell somehow gets the Vikings to the playoffs, it has to be him again.
That's actually a tough one too, because no one's really looked like definitive for that so far.
If somehow, some way, the man, the myth, the legend, Ben Johnson gets the Bears to the playoffs, he wins Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the Bears actually do look competent for once, surprisingly.
And I will say, if Shanahan can find some way in hell to get a top seed or a number 2 seed, I think he wins Coach of the Year just because
Who's the Jaguars coach now? I know
Liam-
they got
Liam Cohen.
But I think Shanahan might win it just because the injuries that he's had, and he started Mac Jones, who's kind of better than Brock Purdy right now.
Let's be real. Mac Jones was supposed to be in San Fran from the get-go. He was supposed to get drafted there, but he had a stupid trade.
I don't think San Francisco is allowed to have a franchise QB at this point. Every time they get a guy, he starts for a year and then gets injured.
He gets shot. He gets sent to the back rooms.
Yeah,
They
but
really
then,
do.
Oh, no,
I
he's
think
throwing
the
a
Chiefs
shot.
2019 cursed them. Who was
Comeback
the quarterback in 2019?
comeback player of the year.
2019 for the San Fran?
Yeah,
Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo.
that's right. As for comeback, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
comeback player of the year.
I think it's going to be him.
They low-key give it to Hutch if Hutch keeps it up.
If Aaron, well, yeah, they probably will give it to Hutch. But if Aaron Rodgers wins a playoff game or he gets the Steelers to a top 2, 3 seed, he might win comeback player. But I think it's going to be Daniel Jones just because
That was a
Daniel Jones.
horrible overthrow. Anyway, sorry.
Daniel Jones has.
Yeah,
been,
you're right. You're right, Zach. You're right. That was a horrible overthrow.
Oh, Zach's watching the game now.
Yeah, you watched
Yeah,
it.
I put it up on my iPad.
Travis Hunter is hurt, by the way.
Has
Well, he
Xavier
probably
Worthy?
got people in fantasy their points. And a delay of game penalty. Wow, Chiefs are not having a good moment here.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Xavier Worthy.
It's now like 2nd and 26. I'm a
Oh
little
my
bit
God!
behind y'all,
Xavier
though.
Worthy. Stop it.
I really think it should be Sam Darnold because he's actually looking really good. But he also had a good season last year, so I guess you can't.
Wait,
Really
did he get it last year?
He won it last year.
Yeah, he did.
He said, fuck it. We're going to give it to you again, Sam.
Yeah, I don't know why it took him till like year 8 to actually want to be a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, he did get sent with Adam Gase.
He's gonna be the next Geno Smith. He blew back up for a few years, and he's gonna reduce
Monteric Brown.
back up.
Monteric Brown's a little sleeper though.
Yeah, he's pretty solid, though. He's pretty solid.
Oh, this game is good now.
Hear me out. We ship Jameis off to Cincinnati until Burrow gets back so he can spoon feed
Nah,
T. Higgins and Jamar
nah.
Chase.
Nah,
Please don't
it's
put
gonna,
Jameis Winston in with this Bengals. That's gonna be.
it's
so
going to be
difficult
Kirk
watch.
Cousins.
I think Kirk's a little too pricey.
I will say, as for the worst team award, I mean, we're kind of all in agreement that it's the Saints, right?
The Jets.
Oh
It's
yeah,
definitely
Jets are
Jets.
pretty bad too.
The Jets ain't won a game.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
they
the
won
Jets,
one
the
last year,
Jets
didn't
should have beat the Steelers, man. They should have beat the Steelers. That would have been a nice game for
they
Justin to
didn't
have.
know. They didn't know.
That
We're
was,
3
that
and
was a great
1.
game for
We're 3 and
Justin,
1.
man. Justin had a
3 and
phenomenal
1.
game just to lose that way.
We're 3
I
and
mean,
1.
The Jets can easily. I mean, I can see the Jets stealing the game off like the
All right,
offense.
okay, we're gonna do that. Who do y'all think is gonna easily be the worst team by the end of the year?
I still think it's going to be the Saints. I think
Yeah,
the Jets
I
are going to
agree.
find a way to fail upwards out of the first overall pick.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be the Titans. The Titans cannot get anything moving offensively.
The Titans probably
Titans-
want to be the first
Titans-
overall so they can get a good receiver because Cam Ward looks legit and he just has no help.
But the number 1 overall pick is probably gonna be Reuben Bain, the edge rusher.
I mean, hey,
I
they
can
can
see
use
it.
They can use everything.
I can see Titans like maybe getting 4 or 5 wins this year.
Honestly, what the Titans should
Now,
do
the
is
Saints-
they should get Reuben
now-
Bay in the first and then take
now-
Antonio Williams in the second.
Now look, it would benefit them. It would benefit the Saints if they just lose, so they can get a quarterback, a
Yeah,
competent.
you already got to win. Kellen Moore needs
Here's
this
the
guy.
thing, though. Spencer Rattler somehow actually looks decent out there.
Yeah, Spencer's not even horrible though. He's been
Nah.
solid. He's
Nah,
not
but
the reason why they're losing.
They still need a better quarterback. I think you can go get John Mateer.
Obviously.
You can go get John Mateer and be okay.
No, they're going to take Lenore Sellers purely because of his physical size.
You're probably
probably-
taking us, to be honest.
Sellers,
Well,
I think, is going to be the
like I
first
said-
quarterback taken.
Like I said, whoever wins the Heisman Trophy winner, you want to know this? There's never been a Heisman Trophy winner that's not been drafted in the first round.
Yes, it was me. I won the Heisman.
Because all the Heisman Trophy winners ever has been a first round pick.
Let me talk about the Raiders real quick. What's going on with Geno, man?
I have no idea what's going on with Geno.
I think the
Geno
Raiders are
just looks.
cursed.
Geno looks like Geno right now. And also, I can't discredit their defense is actually playing kind of decent, but their O line is a mess. Their O line needs to be fixed.
I will say that I think the biggest tragedy though is Justin Fields' NFL career. As far as first round picks go, he's had it about as bad as it can be.
But he's not that bad of a player though.
He's not terrible, but the teams he's been on have been astronomically bad.
Besides Pittsburgh,
Yeah, but he wasn't the starter then, I don't think, was he?
he started for 4 or 5 games.
Oh, he did, okay. But I mean, it's just he drafted the Bears thinking you're going to be the savior of the franchise. They're terrible. They decide they're going to move on from you, go for Caleb Williams. And now you're on an 0-5 Jets team. Ugh.
Whose schedule's not even getting any easier. But they do play the Ravens next week, so
They're going to lose. I mean, the Ravens are going to win now. The Ravens are due for a win eventually. I mean,
Lamar's out again though, so
yeah, I'm so glad I didn't take him in fantasy this year.
So what if the Ravens lose to the Jets?
If the Ravens lose to the Jets, if you're John Harbaugh, you might as well just tank the rest of the year.
I think
Your
Jordan
job's
gets
not in
fired.
jeopardy. I mean, just tank and get a really good draft pick. Bring Lamar back out off IR and just absolutely tear up the league again.
I think Harbaugh gets fired if he loses that game.
Really? Weren't they in the AFC Championship last year, though?
Yeah. But I think they lose that game. I really do. I hope they lose to the Jets because then it makes me feel better about the Steelers because we run the North.
Well, if he does get fired, some NFL team's going to get a really good defensive coordinator out of him.
But I think the Steelers lose this week.
Who are the Steelers playing?
The Browns.
Really think the Steelers going to lose to the Browns?
We always do. We always split with the Browns.
I guess that's fair, but
We
Browns
split
are
with the Browns, beat the Ravens, and we lose to Cincinnati. That's how it always happens.
if you're the Browns, what do you even do at this point? Everything you've tried has been met with nothing but failure.
Fuck, Trevor, what the fuck you doing?
You throw a pick.
That was like right to the defender as well.
He threw it right to Trent McDuffie, too. That's fucking funny.
Apparently, he missed one of his receivers missed a route because he looks pissed for that.
Trevor, you were playing decent, too, until that interception.
Trevor
All right.
Lawrence has overall been a solid quarterback.
We can still talk, but I'm going to end the stream. All right, this has been Inside the Cage. I'm your host, Brady Johnson. Here with me, Jaden Felder and Zach. See y'all. Peace.
Yeah, man.